mamas. So for today's yoga tutorial, we're going to be working on the shoulders. We're still this week, working with kind of the heart space. So last week we focused on sort of back bends and opening the heart. And this week we're going to work on the shoulder space and really relaxing and releasing a lot of tension within the shoulders. The shoulders are one of the most one of the tightest spots within the body, next to the hips. And it's just a space that holds so much tension, right? We say we hold the weight of the world on our shoulders. And it's kind of true, right? We tend to hold a lot of stuff here. And there's two reasons for this sort of in today's society. One is the way that we breathe, right? A lot of people are sort of chest breathers, only breathing into this top part of the chest. And so what happens when you do that? It leads to this sort of movement within the shoulders as you inhale and exhale. And so one of the wonderful practices as well to help relieve tension in the shoulders is just like we do with kind of deep belly breathing or full yogic breath, where we breathe into all parts of the rib cage. And this really just lets the shoulders relax and release away of the ears instead of sort of forever staying in sort of this tense state. So one is watching your breath, and checking how you're breathing. And the other reason is just because in today's society, we have so much of this forward movement. When we drive in cars, we're sort of like this. When we're on the computers, when we're holding baby, rocking baby, putting baby down into the crib. So in motherhood, especially, we are especially rounding and doing a lot of forward motion with the shoulders. So it's just so important, imperative to as well counterbalance and be able to relax and release the shoulders in the other direction. So the shoulders are also such a very tender spot because we only have, there's mainly just ligaments holding onto the shoulders. So it's very important when we do these exercises to be very mindful. You don't, in the first class we talked, in the first week's tutorial we did a lot of, tension versus compression, so really understanding where is your maximum range of motion for today and for this class, and really not trying to push yourself further than that. So we need to be very mindful. We need to be very, in tune and listening to our body and its needs as well. So with that, we will begin. You're going to want to have a strap and a block nearby for some of the exercises. So hit pause, go and grab those items if you need. And come to a comfortable seated position on the mat. We will begin with some breathing to relax and release the shoulders. And so finding a comfortable seated position, closing the eyes. And just begin to notice your breath right now in this moment. Just notice where it's flowing, the quality. Is it coming fast, slow? Maybe feeling a little stuck or constricted. And with awareness now, we're just going to try to move the breath down into the belly. Feeling the belly expand with the inhales, letting the belly soften on the exhales. Doing a couple of rounds, following your own pace, your own flow. And on the next inhale, breathing into the whole front side of the body. So inhaling, feeling the belly expand, chest expand, rib cage expand. Exhaling, letting the rib cage fall, chest falls, belly softens. Inhaling into the belly, chest, and ribs. Exhaling, ribs, chest, and belly falls. Just taking a few breaths of complete yogic breath. Following your pace in this moment. And continuing with this breath, and with every exhale, feeling the shoulders just relax and release a bit more, falling away from the ears. Inhaling the breath into the front side of the body, belly, chest, and ribs. Exhale, softening the tightness and tenderness through the shoulders. Just taking a couple more breaths like this. And after the next exhale, slowly opening the eyes. And we will begin coming over. So we're going to start, let the feet be hip width apart and let there be a soft bend in the knees. Because lots of times when we open and we try to open the shoulders, we tend to compensate in the back. So really for this whole practice when we're standing, you want the feet hip width apart, ground down, soft bend in the knees, and activate those core set muscles. So really use those core set muscles. The lower ribs are coming down in line with the pelvis. So we don't want any of this arching back. We bring the rib cage down and let the gaze be forward. Perfect. And now we're going to bring the hands onto the shoulders. So the 4 fingertips will be forwards. The thumb will be towards the back of the shoulder. And we're just going to begin with some shoulder rolls. So we're going to inhale. We're going to bring the shoulders, or the elbows, close to each other. Bring them up, and then exhale, roll the elbows back and down. Good. Inhale, shoulders come forward and up, or elbows, I should say. And exhale, elbows back and down. Good. Inhale, elbows together in front, up, exhaling down. And just now do about 5 or 6 of these, waking up the shoulders. Taking your time, you can even close your eyes to really see inwards and notice what is happening within the shoulders, within the joints. Checking in again with your stance, making sure you're still grounded and activating that core to keep the spine in neutral. And doing this one more time. Letting the arms come down, just let them flop, give them a nice little shake. Maybe do some spaghetti arms. And we're going to go the opposite direction. So bringing the hands back up, 4 fingertips forward, thumb towards the back. And this time we're going to inhale the elbows back and up, and then exhale, trying to bring them down and forward in front of us. Right, if the elbows touch, that doesn't matter. Inhale, elbows back and up. Exhaling, elbows down and forward. Inhaling, elbows back and up. Exhaling, elbows come forward, just showing you from the sides. Inhale, elbows back and around and down in front with the exhales. Good. Just following your own flow, closing the eyes if you'd like. Last time here. And releasing the arms down. Just let yourself do a little spaghetti, shake them out, this and that. Now we're going to need a strap or a scarf. So I'll give you a moment to go get one of those or any piece of cloth, anything to give yourself a little bit of length. It can be a shirt, it can be a baby swaddle, perfect. You might need, actually, yeah. So how you want it to be about, okay, perfect, excellent. Because you want one hand to be sort of at the heart, then you let the other hand just go out that arm length, perfect. And then we're gonna bring that strap down in front of the thighs. And once again, just check in with our stance, feet hip width apart, soft bend in the knees, activating those core. We want to keep using that core. This will be especially good for you, Diana, to keep working on those lower level transverse abdominis muscles to help sort of naturally heal that diastasis. All right, and so on the inhale, we're gonna lift the arms forward and up. And then just going to wherever we start to feel that tension, and then exhale, lower down. So I'm just gonna show you from the sides. When we inhale, arms lift up, let the shoulders roll back. So what we don't want is this, okay? So we don't want to be falling into the back. That core helps to keep the spine neutral, and imagine the lower rib cage coming down parallel with the pelvis. And once again, you can just follow your own breath. Follow your movements, coming back till we feel a little tension, and then slowly lowering. And as well doing this for about 4 or 5 more times. You can once again close the eyes if you feel stable. And just really noticing where you feel the sensations. All right, this next time when we come up, we're gonna hold here and you're gonna bend the arms. So the arms are gonna come like a cactus. Now I'm just gonna show you from the side. So once you bend with the cactus, you're going to bring the shoulder blades together towards the back. Okay, so we're here and you're going to bring the shoulder blades. So bring the scapulas down, but keep the body exactly as it is in alignment. So they're squeezing the shoulder blades. One more breath here. Good, next inhale, lift the arms up, slowly release the hands down. Let yourself get a nice little shake. All right, so now we're gonna do a fun activity, might be kind of challenging, called shoulder stirring. So for this, you don't have to have a block. You can have a notebook, you can have a regular book. Perfect, Auntie. Yes, it can be anything that you can kind of place in your hand. So for this, feet can be a little bit wider than hip width apart because we're gonna have to get some hip action into this as well. So this is gonna take a few times to get this, so don't worry. So we have our palm facing up, we place our object on the palm. And then we're going to bring the hand in towards the hip. We're gonna come under, and then now the shoulders out to the side with the palm facing up. Good. And then we bring our object forward, around, back over the head, and around. If it falls out, that is fine. That's why I said this takes a few times to get this, but we're giving complete shoulder mobility. We're moving our shoulder in every direction. So it's like a lasso. We're kind of lassoing here at the end. We're bringing it back, forward, in towards the hip, out to the side, palms facing up. Bring that block around to the front, lasso it around. And coming back, there we go. And so it's kind of like a dance, right? We get our hips into it. We get a little spinal flow, fluid action with us. There we go. And then once you find your flow, you can just kind of go and do your thing. Excellent. Wonderful, Auntie. Oh, sorry. I probably said that in Canadian reverse. All right, coming back to center. Now the fun part is we're gonna switch it up and go the other direction. So we begin by moving our arm out, back, around, coming in front, and then pulling the hand in and out through the hip. There you go, yes. So slow movements back, around, over the head, around in front, coming in through the hip. Excellent. Around the back, over the head, coming in front. Ooh, almost lost mine there. Let's do it one more time. And you'll find usually one direction is easier than the other. Perfect. All right, whenever you finish that round, just let yourself get a good shake, kick it out. And we'll try with the other side. And as well, one side is always easier. So you'll probably find instantly which side that is. So bring the palm facing up. We set our object. We're going to begin by bringing it in towards the hip, under the arm. Let the palm come out, around in front, and up over the head with that lasso. And then we bring that arm around in front, into the hip, bringing it out to the side. Let the arm straighten as we come around and over the top, lasso. And just taking our time. Yep, one side's always easier than the other, Auntie. And if you fall out, you just start again. You start with the hand, palm facing up. We set our object on it. Bring it in towards the hip, out to the side, palm facing up, bringing the arm around in front, over the top. We lasso it around. There we go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And back in front. We'll do one more on this way. And then once we get here, we're going to reverse. So the palm goes out, back, over the head, out in front, and then bending the elbow in and around from the hip. Yes, out, back, bringing it forward, bringing it in towards the hip, reaching the arm out to the side, back around the head, out in front of the face. Ooh, got stuck on that one. Do one more time. And there we go. And that's called shoulder stirring. Good job, ladies. And just shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And drop whatever you're feeling. And the shoulders, I mean, it's very interesting because really with those movements, you have moved your shoulder like in every possible way it can go. Lubricated the joints, really kind of worked all of the different areas of mobility. And so now we're just going to do a few to release tension in the back upper shoulders and then the front part of the delts. So we're going to do eagle arms. So inhale, we're going to reach our arms out to the sides. Let the palms face me. Yes. And then exhale, bring the right arm over, left arm under, and you're just going to give yourself a little hug. And then keeping the arms where they are, you're going to bring the back of the palms up towards each other. Yes. So maybe you just stay here, or maybe you can bring the palms towards each other. So you're, yes, excellent. And then, so this is from the side view. Once again, keep that soft bend in the knees so we don't do too much arching. Soft bend, activate the core. And then we're just gently going to bring the elbows up. When you do this, you're going to feel, just notice where you feel a stretch. And you can kind of play with bringing the elbows down and lifting the elbows up. And just doing this a few times, sort of seeing how it kind of massages the upper back. One more breath. And then on the exhale, release the arms. Let the arms come out wide and look up. Step the feet wide, coming in sort of a standing X. This is called happy pose. I love this pose. You like instantly smile when you do it. And then exhale, release down. Give the arms a break, shake it out, let them be like jelly. And we will do the other side. So inhale, really spreading, opening through the chest. Exhaling, left hand over the right. Give ourselves a little hug. Tell ourselves, I love you. And then bring the backs of the palms towards each other. So this is option 1, to stay here. Option 2, maybe the palms can come together. And so once again, we're here, nice soft bend in the knees. We're activating the lower level core set muscles. And we begin to just play with lifting the elbows up, maybe pulling the elbows down. And always just working with your range of motion. Maybe closing the eyes and moving the breath into the upper back, into the shoulders, wherever you feel tightness and tenderness. Using the exhales to release and relax the muscles. Just taking one more breath here. And then releasing the arms, let the feet come out wide. Let's come again into our happy pose. Let the palms face up, let the gaze lift up, smile. And exhale, lower down. Good. And just let the body go. All right, we're going to grab our strap again. We're going to place the strap over the right shoulder. So this is cow-faced arms. Once again, feet hip-width apart. We're going to inhale, lift the right hand up. Turn the palm so it faces the back and bring the palm down towards the strap. We're going to lift the left hand out to the side, bring the thumb down. Now the first step, I'm going to show from the side. The first step, you roll this shoulder back. So you create space, and then you can bend that left hand up and you reach for the strap. So maybe you're just grabbing the strap, maybe you can grab the hands. So wherever you are, just stay here. And once again, checking in, right? So the goal is not necessarily to grab the hands. So we don't want to be arching back, right? So we're grounding down and we're bringing the ribs down in alignment with the spine, keeping neutral spine here. Use the core, activate your core set muscles, really hugging in to keep the spine nice and long. And just notice where you feel this. Some people feel this in the upper shoulder, others feel it in the lower shoulder. So just really notice where you're feeling the tightness. And move the breath to that place. You can close the eyes, visualizing the breath moving within the shoulders, swirling around, exhaling away the tension and tightness. Taking one more breath here. And after the next exhale, gently releasing the arms, no quick movements. I normally like to do like a few swimming strokes after this, forwards and backwards. If you feel like doing spaghetti arms, do spaghetti arms. Just slowly letting that tension out. This one's huge. This one's huge. I think it took me a year of postpartum before I was able to clasp my hands again. And even now, it's still like a big stretch. Even now, some days I can't do it. Now it's the evening time, so my shoulders are a little bit more open, and I'm able to do it a little bit easier. But in the morning, there's no way my hands are touching on this one. All right, so moving the strap now to the left side, just checking in again, feet hip width apart, soft bend in the knees, putting on those tight pairs of pants, so really using those, all the corset muscles. Inhale, reaching that left hand up, turn the palm to face the back, bring it down towards the strap. Right hand out to the side, thumb facing down. First step, make sure we roll that shoulder back, right? So it's the rolling that shoulder back to make space to lift that right hand up towards the strap. And just holding, maybe we're down here. It really doesn't matter, okay? And just checking in from the side, checking in, we're not arching the back, so just really using the nice strong core. Bring the lower ribs down towards the pelvis. Let the gaze be forward. And just breathing here, maybe closing the eyes. Noticing here on this side any sensations. We also tend to have one side with this pose that's easier than the other, so just noticing that as well. And using nice long breaths to breathe in to wherever you're feeling this pose. Taking the inhales there with awareness, creating space, seeing the fresh oxygen swirl around and seeing the tension and tightness leaving the body on the exhales. Taking one more breath here. And then exhale slowly, releasing the arms. Nice and slow. Maybe we do some swimming strokes. Maybe you do some spaghetti arms. Just doing whatever feels right. Excellent. All right, now, it's a great way to start the day too, Auntie, with these shoulders and to really release all that tension because even when we sleep, right, we wake up, we're stiff. We have stiff shoulders, we have stiff hips, but because this is just where we have so much tightness and store everything anyways. So this next one, the strap is gonna be behind the back. And you're gonna hold the strap so the palms are facing backwards. And you just want the hands, same thing, so they're coming down and then the strap is just kind of coming across the thighs. Let the feet be hip width apart. And on this one, we're just gonna try to push the strap back and up. So once again, make sure you use the active core. We don't wanna try to bend forward to lift the arms. Remember, the goal is never to get the arms up, right? The goal is to just really go and find your range of motion and be within that range of motion and give your body the stretch that it needs. And let the gaze be forward. Just focusing on the inhales and exhales. And focus on really lengthening the arms. So really pressing out and pulling with the hands. So you have that flexion from the strap to help sort of lift up even more. Breathing here. One more breath. Exhaling slowly, releasing down. Good. We can release the strap now. We're not going to use that anymore. And the last pose we're going to do is, I'm going to just stand backwards because it's something with the arms behind the back. So the first option is maybe we just grab your wrists. Option 2, maybe you can reach and grab onto the elbows. Option 3, maybe you can begin to make prayer hands. So just finding whatever option feels good to you. Let the gaze be forward. And once again, activating that core. Well, it's okay if you release the core. We always forget about the core, but that's why I keep cueing it. Activate the core. Keeping that spine neutral. Try not to flare up through the rib cage. Bring the rib cage down. And then we're going to release, and we're going to try to grab the palms and see if we can make a fist. If that's too much and the palms can't touch, you can just pull with the fingertips, and if that's too much, you can just pull down with the fist like this. Otherwise, if you can try to squeeze the palms together. And once again, trying to make it come from the shoulders, not from the back. So squeezing the palms, as if we're really trying to just pull our fist down past the sacrum, down towards the tailbone, really pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. Let the gaze be forward. One more breath here. And exhale, release. Just shake it out. Good. All right, we're gonna have one more down on the ground. Before I lay down, I'm going to show you kind of sitting up what you're going to do. So basically, with we're going to do on each side, and with the right hand, or with each hand, what you're going to do is you're going to place it sort of under the back and as high up towards the shoulder as you can. So when you're on the back, you have sort of the arm is bent with the fingertips underneath the back, and the shoulder is resting on the ground. And then what we're going to do is you bend the knees up, and maybe you begin to roll over towards the arm. And maybe you begin to come onto the hips. Now you're gonna feel super big stretch in the back of the shoulder. So really be gentle. Maybe even just holding here is enough. If you want a little bit more, you can begin to roll over onto the hip. But listen to the body. Moving the breath into the shoulder. Releasing on the exhales. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly coming back up to center. Releasing that right arm out. We're going to do the same thing. So bringing that left palm under the back, up towards the shoulder. The palm is facing down. So we sort of have a triangle shape. The left arm is bent at the elbow. And then maybe, if we want to go a little bit further, we can begin to roll the weight onto the left side. And just being mindful, the huge stretch in the back of the shoulder. So only going to that spot of where you feel your tension. Breathing into the back of the shoulder, taking one more breath here. Slowly coming back to center. And just maybe bring the knees in. You can give yourself a little hug. Rolling the knees in little circles in one direction. And then reversing direction. Just giving ourselves a little massage on the lower back.
Maybe pulling the chin to the chest and really rounding up. Give yourself one big hug. And then let the feet come back down on the floor. Let the feet be wider than hip width apart, knees up. Let the arms just fall out to the sides into cactus. So we have like a football post with our arms. The elbows coming out along in line with the shoulders, and then the hands come up. And we can just windshield wiper our knees from left to right. So letting the knees drop to the left, come back up to center, drop to the right. Doing this a few times. Coming back to center. Bring the feet together. Just let them come out long and give yourself a nice big stretch. So you can point the toes, reach the hands up high. And then bending the knees, let the feet come back in, rolling over onto one side. Just slowly pushing your way back up to seated. That's the end of our shoulder practice for today. Namaste.